Alright, welcome to another Let's Try. This is Industria 2. This is a playtest, so it's not a demo. It just, they release this is more like an open beta that is released for people to try and to see, report bugs or give feedback for the development. So there's no real, I don't think there is, let me do this. There's no release date announced, so could be coming in 2026, 2027, or who knows. And if you haven't played the first game is kind of like a little bit of like an horror Half-Life action experience, with a bit of shooting, some simple like puzzle like in Half-Life-ish vibes, with a nice kind of sci-fi vibe to it. So let me just read what they are saying about Industria 2 here. Industria 2 is a narrative FPS adventure about a woman stranded in a parallel dimension. So a bit of sci-fi again. Explore, scavenge, and fight your way through a mysterious, surreal landscape consumed by an ever-hungry AI to find a way home. Okay. And again, we have tags being, action, FPS, survival horror, and story rich and 3D. So let me see. Let me close that one down. Right, so this game, when you tab out of it, it will pause the music. I don't know. I'm not a fan of that. I would have been more understandable if the game would have paused the entire game when we tab out, because this is quite a heavy game here. It's hard to tell, but my GPU is now being utilized to 100% just in this menu. So if I'm tabbing out to pause the audio and not the game, doesn't really add any good. And just here in the menu, I'm not even hitting 120 frames or anything. I think this is stupid. In my opinion, this could have just been a nice static background with an options and been like 5% GPU utilization instead of having my GPU going at 100%. My CPU is like pushing 80% on one core and all cores is like 30-40%. No, stupid. I'm gonna check out the options, but I should be able to do timestamps for you guys if you for some reason don't want to check out the options, but you're going to probably need to be in the options for at least for the graphical parts. So I highly recommend that you check that one out. I'm also going to have to tab out and back and forward to tweak the audio levels, because it's going to be a bit annoying trying to tweak that, when the audio pauses every time I tab out to adjust it. But alright, tabs below for gameplay. I will be trying this, the plan is at least with my, with the 8-bit Ultimate 2 Wireless. That's a long name. And there are many versions, but yeah, I'm gonna be trying this one with gyro and Steam input enabled. Let me do that. Bit interesting. Alright, options. Game. We have a field of view, we have head bob. I've turned that one down. I like that you can disable the head bob. We have some settings for aiming and scope. I don't think this was a good enough setting for me. And also this, I believe this setting is both for the gamepad and for the mouse and the mouse setting. I think I like to have them separated, because sometimes you want to play a game with mouse and then for some reason or whatever you might want to play with the gamepad, and now if they share the same sensitivity, that's a problem. So I really prefer when mouse sensitivity is one and when the gamepad, the sticks sensitivity is another one. I don't think I don't think I found any way to do that. Other than that, seems to be, again, I don't think that these settings was good enough for me, but we're gonna get into that when I play the game. Other than that, it's pretty good. I like that you can change toggle crouch sprints to, you know, hold or to toggle. Crosshair on off for more immersive gameplay, which is nice. Let's go for the easiest menus first. Some nice settings. I'm not colorblind, so I don't know how good they are, but it's nice that they are in the game. Let's go to the audio. Lots of good settings, should be good enough. Again, I think it's nice if a game starts with like 70 to 80% on the master volume, giving you a little bit of wiggle room both up and down, but this is a perfect nice thing. I can't change this, maybe this will come in the full release. So I'm using TCL DH3555-inch TV, bump there, and the built-in speakers. They are, you know, good enough for just casual stuff. But the audio here is now, if we can see here, optimized for headphones, so I'm not gonna get the full best experience out of my speakers, and I could have used my headphones, but for this playtest I just went with, you know, more comfortable casual experience. But hopefully this will be tweakable in the full release or in a proper demo. Subtitles on and off, good amount of settings here. Doesn't seem like you can have like a background on or off on the subtitles. That's always a nice thing to have. This is something that I think is kind of interesting. I don't think we have that this kind of weird tweakability in the game before. Nice, but I don't know how useful this is gonna be. Very interesting choice for this one. For this one though, this seems to be some kind of, you know, I don't know, there's no descriptions, I'm not gonna dive into it, but it's interesting. Is it bad? Probably not, but it's very weird. Maybe this is just to accommodate people with hearing or tinnitus, or what you call it, you know, to be able to tweak something better like that. But right, interesting. This is probably where let's do this one. All right, so you have full rebinding, what it looks like, but you also have hard-coded keybinds. This I really don't like. I think it's great that we can see the key bindings. I think it's good that we can, you know, you can pretty much rebind both your keyboard and gamepad. I like it, you know, I don't mind it being in one and the same menu. No problem with that. But hard-coded binding is really not what I like. It's better than anything that we can see the bindings, but not good at all. We really should be able to remap more freely. I hope they can improve this. Because again, when I'm using, like, you know, 8-bit or my Steam controller, and, you know, I want to mix gamepad and inputs and keyboard, mouse and everything, having full remapping is the key to getting an amazing experience without having to rely too heavy on Steam input. It's much better if it's built into the game. The game prompts and stuff will just work better. But alright, you know, hey, here you have it. And it seems to have kind of like medium keybinds input here. It's not heavy like 10 weapons and stuff like that so far, and it's not, you know, utilizing too many crazy, and it doesn't just be a very input light game. It's somewhere in like the middle with a little bit of weapons and movement and stuff like that. So yeah, a nice thing. You can see up to 5 weapons. Did I bind? Oh, I did. But I did not bind the 5th weapon here. I forgot about that one. Or maybe they patched it? Did they update this? I might have missed this, but we'll see. Maybe this is not available. Weapon number 5 might not be available in the playtest anyways. I've only optimized this like very quickly. This is just my quick and dirty optimization for this game and the inputs and the 8-bit though. I still would have, if I were to, you know, really dig into this, the 10-year-old Steam OG Steam controller is still the king of FPS gaming, with a good gyro, good clicky back buttons, dual stage triggers, and the right trackpad. This is just much better, but yeah, hopefully I think I can get this to work with the Ultimate, the 8-bit Ultimate here. But I haven't 100% optimized. I just noticed that I've left I forgot to optimize for weapon number 5. We'll see if that's gonna come into play when I play this game. And now, this is probably where you're gonna have to spend some time. I'm playing this in DirectX 12 mode with ray tracing on, and you can see in the top left, I am, you're gonna see that later on, but I am using frame generation. I know people really don't like it, and I like it as a tool, not as a requirement. But you know, you have good settings for window mode and full screen mode. I don't know why it says invalid option, because that's not true. This one applies to window mode and to full screen mode, so this is a very valid option, and it's a great option. We need to have this one. We need to be able to set the size of our window mode, so I don't know why invalid option, don't know. VSync on, off, and FPS limit. FPS limit is not working with frame generation, at least. I have to manually, I think that is, let me double check so I'm not lying to you guys. And I think this might have been one of the games. I need to double check it. No. Okay, good. Yeah, the frame rate limit here is working. It's another game. That's good. I don't want to miss information. All right, and you have a FPS limit that you can set. Go all the way down to none. 30, 60, 90, 140, up to 240. Would be nice with a custom, but you know, this is perfectly fine. Or you have VSync on, motion blur on, off, camera distortion, I like that. Sharpening, let me turn that down to 50. I don't know if it's a good idea. This probably should be better default to 50% than 100%, but right, texture streaming, you can see here settings, everything is maxed at the moment. You have screen space or ray traced. Support for, I guess, for the shadows and maybe for lightning. And we have DLSS support. I'm running in quality mode. I have 2x frame generation on. AMD FSR is supported. I don't know if there is AMD frame gen. I can't see that from this menu right now. If I do, no, does not look like we have AMD FSR frame generation. That is unfortunate. So let me go for, no, let's go with this one. We're gonna give ourselves a little bit of an extra headroom here. Doesn't seem like VSync is working. So let's do this. Seems like that works better. Okay, so VSync and frame generation does not work. Good to know, but this is very good. This has a lot of settings and you're probably gonna need to tweak it. Because again, for me to reach 120 frames per second here in this game with, you know, max settings and with ray tracing on here, with lumen ray tracing, I need frame generation, but you know, you can turn down settings and it's still not I haven't really felt a problem for me here, and I get over 60 frames, so frame generation is a good option for me for input and everything. And this, I'm gonna be running this on Nvidia RTX 5070 and the CPU being the Ryzen 9600X, 9600X. With 32 gigs of DDR5 memory. So let's get into the game. Do this. So no save slots in this playtest.
Machine-built walls in a parallel dimension, far away from home. One day, they began to move. I barely made it through the night alive. Beyond the walls, I stumbled into Marlene, a co-worker from East Berlin, stranded just like me. Together, we might have a chance to finally find a way home.
You coming or what?
Right, so it's going to be a little bit of screen tearing. I don't know if this is an Nvidia, you know, fault, but I really wish I could use VSync and frame generation. Right, so here we have squeeze through, press right trigger. So this is another good thing. I might have forgotten to mention that. Okay, no, okay, nope. Let's play the game. Right. Well, the good thing is with this game supports mixed input, because I'm using, again, an 8-bit though, Ultimate 2 wireless gamepad. We go with the Steam input support enabled. So I'm using keyboard, gamepad input, as we can see here, for everything except for the gyro. The gyro is being mouse for just, no, this is just better gyro mode. Right, so we start off looking pretty nice, pretty good. Pretty high GPU utilization here. Again, we are using frame generation just to get a smooth 120 stable frames and max settings. Right, so this is the first thing. To open doors, you can press and like move doors with like your stick or with the mouse. Opening doors manually is great for VR. I don't know if they're gonna add VR, but having to do this kind of like manual mouse or joystick movement for every door or thing that I'm gonna open gets annoying in the long run. I just prefer pressing a button and the doors opening. But for VR, it's great to have that you know have to interact and do like a movement to open door for immersion.
Right, let's find a way through this.
I really like the vibe of the game, you know, it starts off good. Let me do this. I'm gonna crank the audio a little bit. I don't know exactly what type of audio levels we wanna have yet. Yeah. But the vibe is really nice. Right. Told me, I think she told me to go explore to find a way to open that. Right, yeah. So, yeah, you know, the interacting is okay, but I prefer to not have it, right? So not having to like manually do this for every door. In VR, it's great, but for yeah, just for normal PC gameplay, I don't think that's necessary. All right.
Nice, you found some supplies. Open the bag and I'll show you how to craft something.
Right, did I just gonna check something? Oops. I'm wondering, I might have to... Okay, open bag. Let's just do this, I guess.
For pistol ammo, you need 2 metal scrap and 2 gunpowder. Drag those components onto a
Oh,
sword.
right, no, okay. Right. So this is the thing I wanted to just point out real quickly. If you're going to, like me, again, I'm using the Ultimate here, again, the 8-bit-0. And for this part to work, you have to make... There we go. The triggers has to be mouse, left and right click, the left and right triggers here. Otherwise, this crafting menu doesn't work. Or at least I couldn't figure out any way for it to work. Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. Something was a bit weird. So for this playtest, I just had to, since I'm using mixed input, I had to set the left and right triggers to be left and right mouse click, and then this crafting works. There we go. If I didn't do that, Right, let's just do this. Yeah, if I didn't do this, if this was not set to be left and mouse right click, I could do this part. I could take them and I could drag them down, but I couldn't craft. I couldn't press cancel or craft. And I don't know why. Let me try something. Yeah, I don't know why. Let me just double check this for you. I want to really highlight, because this is something that I hope they can look at for the final game. So if we go here and you know, we set this one a full pull. If we do this, so this is the left, mouse is the right, and then we do this. This should be right. There we go. So now I can't get out of this menu. I can't craft. It's just really weird. I can't craft. I can't craft. I can't cancel. I can't get out of this menu. None of my buttons work. I can look at my characters or my friend there. I don't know what's going on here. When I'm using mixed input like I am, I cannot do this. This took me quite a while, because I was like, am I doing something wrong with the tutorial? No, apparently not. What I have to do to make crafting work when, you know, I'm using this controller, the 8-bit Ultimate 2 wireless with Steam input, everything set to gamepad. The only thing that is set to keyboard and mouse is the gyro. And that, for some reason, just, I guess, makes this not work. I cannot... I cannot make this work. It just won't work. Gyro to mouse here. It breaks the crafting unless, again, you go into the trigger, take this. We just set this one. This is the right, so this is left mouse click. Take this one, and that is left mouse click. We go back. Now we're in the game, and now we can press cancel and go drag, just like before. You can drag these things, you know, even if set to left and right triggers, but you cannot press this button for some reason. But now works. I don't know what it is, what's happening, what's going on.
To get the door open. Remember, you need to ready your weapon before you can fire it.
Right, so we have reloaded, and this is ready weapon. So you have, this is kind of interesting. You have to press like shift to go into ADS. I don't know if I like this. Like you have, I can't fire my weapon. I have to be in this stance. And then you have to be pressing another button to go like aim down sight for more precision. And so you can see here, I'm jiggling this a little bit. This is nice. I like this sensitivity. Let me now do aim down sight for ready weapon. This is good. This is pretty close. It's the same kind of sensitivity I like. Now let me press this. Okay. Okay. This wasn't working for me before. They must have patched or something has changed. This was super slow.
Perfect.
Previously when I did this playtest, I couldn't get this one and this one be the same sensitivity. And this be the same sensitivity, but it works now, so that's good. Okay, perfect.
Sorry, Nora.
Let's move on. Of course, yeah, I've enabled that. It is really, really love the atmosphere here. Let me crank the audio for me a little bit. I think this is, just like in the first game, it is the best part about the game, is the atmosphere. But yeah, this one, Not a fan. I would just prefer to click a button to open. Again, this works great if they're gonna implement VR. Having that kind of door physics interaction already built in is amazing, you know. But I don't think they're gonna do. I don't think they're gonna do VR. Maybe it will help with VR mods and stuff like that. It do run great here for me. You know, again, I'm using frame generation just for smooth.
Shoot. This used to be open.
For smooth, just for smooth 120 frames and you know, a little bit
Here last time.
Great.
creepy, and just for a little bit of less GPU, you know, hit.
Looks like this is missing something.
But let me try this one for you guys. Let me turn off just frame generation, because I know there is, you know, people that don't like frame generation, which is fine. It's a personal preference. Absolutely perfectly. Right. So without frame generation here and max settings and DLSS on per balanced mode, I'm getting 120 frames here. But my GPU is just about maxed out. My GPU is really on the, you know, on the edge, so it's going to drop frames. I am going to drop frames. It is inevitable. So you're probably gonna have to, on a at least on the RTX 5070 with the Ryzen 9600X CPU, you're gonna have to turn down some settings in 1440p if you want to have 120 frames. Now, since I don't mind frame generation, I can turn it on for a bit of extra oomph in graphic fidelity. And I think this is great. The game runs really good, you know, even without frame generation, and I can use frame generation as a tool to get more performance. You know, I know people don't like more performance, but we get more smoothness while still getting max fidelity. Let's go with that. You know, I don't like games that like, oh, you cannot get above like 80 frames unless you know, unless you like use frame generation, or if you know, oh, you can only get 90 frame if you use frame generation. That is not a good definitely not a good and fun thing. But in this case I think it works good, because you know, again, I can get pretty much 120 frames in 1440p, and I might not max out the settings or anything like that. 750. I think I have, okay, I think I have 750 upgrades. And then the magazine, suppressor, pistol stock, 5 batteries. Ooh, okay. Right, so we have great. We have a higher ammo capacity. Oh, we can even get higher ammo capacity here, 250. Let's just go crazy. This widget is mouse only. Okay. Well, I'm glad that I've put this, then my controller with right and left mouse click, and with gyro as a mouse, because then I can use this. I'm sure they will fix this for the final release, but I guess that is probably why the crafting of the gunpowder isn't working, because they haven't implemented full standard gamepad compatibility yet. Guys, if you're seeing this, and if you wanna, you know, do like an official Steam Deck profile and how to get things just very quickly working, here you have like a little bit of help for you. You know, everything just normal standard Xbox layout, but you take the triggers to be left and right mouse click, and you enable gyro with gyro to mouse. You guys just need to figure out how to enable weapon number 5. There you go. This game is very playable, at least with the gyro enabled controller. This gets a little bit tiring. I've noticed on on the Steam forum, some people also felt this, that with like gamepad or mouse and keyboard having to like manually drag open. I think that would be really great with an option to just press to click instead of hold to drag open. For VR, again, it's great. Let's talk to you.
Marlene, this missing piece here. Any idea what we're looking for exactly?
Yeah, it could very well be a petrichor modulator. Atlas uses them to program their infrastructure. At least, that's what the scientists told me.
Right, so you guys can't see this, but whenever I am in like some kind of crafting menu or something, or like in this dialogue, my mouse pointer, yes, for some reasons pops up being visible here. And this is my standard mouse pointer from Windows. I hope they will add like a custom mouse pointer for the game. Maybe like more of a circle or hand looking symbol.
Petrichor. The black fluid, right?
Yeah, we call it that because of the smell. Atlas uses petrichor to power its machinery, and those cables you see all over the place make up the Atlas grid. But you probably know more about it than me. It's incredible, honestly. Scary, but incredible.
So if you haven't figured it out yet, the audio, the kind of synchronization between the character's lips or facial movement is shit. It's really, really freaky and crappy. I'm sorry, don't mean to shit on it, but it is so out of sync that it is very immersive breaking. I would really look into tweak that. I don't know if the lip synchronization here is made for another language. I can check the option to see if there is like language options, but holy hell, that was really just so freakishly out of sync that it's really immersive breaking.
The Atlas grid.
Yeah, Atlas basically expands into a zone and sets up its petrichor machinery so that it can expand its area of control. Eventually, it expands so far it builds these giant walls to encase the landscape. That's what we've observed so far.
It's just like the lips are moving randomly, and like even when there is like pauses, it just keeps going. That really is very, very immersive breaking in a very narrative and story driven like this. This part here could actually have been fixed, because you could have made the characters here, when I interact with my characters, you could have my character and, you know, the friend here facing this thing that are next to us, and that you could just have like her, the one that we're seeing here, she could have been just off to like this right side, and we would not have seen like her full face. And it could have been like you're standing with your friend next to them and just talking about the thing in front of you instead. They could have fixed this in this particular cutscene.
That thing that chased me last night. What the hell was that?
I saw a few when I was watching from my hideout. To be honest, you were really lucky. The agents called them surgers. They were Atlas workers once, but they are starved of petrichor, and they have been driven mad by their addiction to it.
A machine driven mad?
Well, they won't stop until they find that stuff. I even saw one siphoning from a dead unit, and siphoning is a sophisticated word for it.
This is nice that, you know, you can choose to leave if you don't want to hear everything, but you can also get into the lore if you like it. I'm mostly focusing on like the gameplay stuff for a playtest like this, because if the gameplay isn't good, then it doesn't really matter how good the story is. The story would have to be like absolutely incredible otherwise, but I'm not keeping 100% track of the story, that is for sure. Right, doesn't look like I can do anything here.
You got a plan?
So dragging this feels a little bit weird. I guess this is very heavy, so you kind of like have to like drag it weirdly along the floor. Would be nicer if it was more...
Here we go. Okay, I'll see if I can find something useful down there. You better wait here.
Right? Take care.
Yeah, it would have probably been better if this would have felt like more like in Half-Life 2, right? Like very lightweight physics, like letting me fling it around a little bit more. But yeah, the biggest thing so far, every time there is like speaking dialogue, the lip synchronization is very much weird. And let me just double check, but I don't think there was audio. No, there is no... We can't change the language or anything like that yet. Let's continue on. Okay, this takes us to the next part. Right, so this part I did pretty much run through quickly one time before doing the video. So this is new content for me, because I just wanted to tweak, you know, the settings for the controller, for the graphics. I have no idea what's gonna happen now. It could be jump scares, audio cues. I do really like this this vibe. I don't know if this game supports HDR. I hope they can add HDR. There's nothing telling me that there is HDR support in the menu, so that's why I'm not using HDR. If the game supports HDR, you need to put some indication of that, hey, if you have enabled HDR, this HDR menu is now available for you. Some kind of hint that HDR is supported. Because this is... this could benefit from HDR, you know, having some high highlight. Is that blooming? I would like to turn that off. But having some high, you know, sky highlight coming in here, bouncing around. I don't think there's... Is this ray trace light? I don't think so. Maybe not. I think this might have been maybe darker if it were. Alright, but this looks very stylistic. That is quite loud. Bang, compared to the other noises. Pretty nice looking textures and everything here. Back settings. Graphically, I'm really enjoying this so far. And performance, for me, I think it's damn good. Problem. Gameplay, so far it's good. I'm not... This I don't like. Sorry for mentioning that, but this, just stop. I don't like that. For VR, yes. For flat gaming, mouse and keyboard, whatever, no. Just let me push a button. Yeah, so I'm not much of a crafting guy, so this could be something that makes me not want to go for the full game. Hopefully we will get a demo showcasing, you know, the polished version, so I can try that when this gets released and see how the, you know, everything is evolved. Because again, I love everything else except for like the crafting and opening the doors.
My best bet to find that component.
When it comes to just the pure gameplay so far, I'm really loving this. The pacing here, I like the slow. Your motion sensor can be... Okay, you can ready and fire it like any other weapon. Is this my motion sensor? Oh, this is the one. Oh, right, I can swap weapons like this. I can press and hold for that one. Oh, I have to do... Okay. Oops. Right. I'm trying to... This is a new controller, so I'm trying to like get a good grip for some of my new buttons and what I've done here. Right, so you have to ready it to do this. I guess a little bit of Alien Isolation vibes, right? You have this beeping noise. Could be fun. This could also be something that is less of a me thing. Being very sneaky and trying to like get past. Does that use batteries that I have to like use every time I do this? I don't know. Right, yeah, this could be a mechanic that, you know, if I have to use it to like be sneaky, it's not my type of gameplay. And not bad gameplay, but just might not be my type of gameplay. And I'm not a fan of these. I prefer more real ray tracing. You can look at the hull here, right? You're looking down, you have nice reflection, looks good. Then up a little bit and it just... Now you see the sun reflective and stuff. Now you don't. Looks a bit jarring to me. But this is just an Unreal Engine 5 kind of weird thing, I guess. But yeah, I think this is very distractingly graphically to me. Well, Alright, we're done with that. Right. So they might be building more on the stealth horror survival vibe in this game compared to the other one that was a little bit more... Was still some sneaky vibes to it, but it was, I feel, maybe... Oh, you can do that also. Maybe a little bit more action focused. So since I'm using a gamepad here, I can... It's really nice, right? You can see I can sneak very nicely. But I feel that I don't need a dedicated sprint button. I would like it if you could have as an option that when you press like 90% of the joystick, something, maybe that can be tweaked, you know? That I would just sprint automatically. Because, yeah, I can just do this in the game, you know, walk normally. I don't press all the way out, and it would be nice because that would free up a button thing, and then if I wanted to sprint, let's just fully press the stick all the way to the outer edge. I would have liked that as an option in the game. This. Right, so I'm guessing this is like the first enemy. Well, alright, yeah. I don't have enough. Right, so we don't have enough to kill him, yeah. It seems like this game is going to go more for sneaky horror vibe, maybe with the inclusion of this one. Again, the first game had sneaking, but I think they might have stepped this one up even a little bit higher. nothing wrong, but it might be something that might not speak to everyone. So this one has to like reload. It's very hard to see, but you have like 3. Can I reload this? Okay. You can manually reload this one. Okay. It does seem to have infinite amount of uses, but you have to recharge it. Only 3 at a time before reloading. Okay. Very difficult to see. Right, so I don't have any ammunition or anything left. That is weirdly loud. I guess I need to practice not slamming the doors. Doesn't seem like I can get into that one. Okay, so we have 2 enemies ahead of me. Yep, I don't know if they might be triggered by, you know, audio. Or by like visuals or what's this. I'm probably gonna get killed here. Right, I don't think I have... Yeah, I have nothing but a motion sensor. Can't open inventory here, no? Okay. I guess that's considered a dangerous place. I don't have anything that I can craft here. That doesn't seem to be working either, so okay. Oh, bandage? I would like more of like an easier way to like craft than to like try to figure this one out myself and like see what I can craft. I guess you can, I guess you just hold over here. But it would be nicer if this would like maybe, like if they could have been like yellow color, the one that I can craft with what I have. I don't know, maybe that's just a me being me thing here. This is not the type of thing that I prefer in games, so that might just be why. But just, if I could just quickly see, oh, this I can make with what I have, it would be helpful for me personally, but... That's where we came from. Can't use this one? Oh no, that's weird. Okay, let me reload it. Oh, can't use it. Woo! Don't have any ammo. Don't know what's triggering that one. He doesn't seem to see me right now for some reason. Okay, so now... That works. Woo, scary. Make it? I think so. Alright, I'm dead now. I don't know... Oh, there where I'm supposed to be going. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Alright, so... Yeah, it definitely feels like they've taken the first game, the sneakiness, and they bumped it up to 11. And that's nice if you like that type of gameplay. Probably means that this is not going to be a game for me. I'm not that much into this kind of sneaking thing. You know, it's just a personal preference. And I think it's a bit annoying that you have to like if I could have used this if it just was automatic, having to press it, like do this, and then it like works briefly and then it like fades away. Then no, now it's gone. If it would have just been, hey, I can take this one up and I can like, okay, I can see now they're sneaking, and then I take this one away to fight. Yes, I could have gone without the problem. Could have gone, through that and done that. But having like to reload this one every 3 times, having to like press it like every 5 to 10 seconds for it to update. No. So yeah. It's for me, yeah, they went a little bit just maybe heavy on on the sneak factor here. It seems nice, and it might be very nice if you like that type of game. And again, I would have loved if I could just have this like menu open so I can see what I could craft with what I have. Like having to do this, then I have to like go through and see what I can do, and I have to like figure it out. It would be just more like easier if I just could see what I could kind of craft with the things I have, so I do that faster. Like in The Last of Us and The Last of Us 2, I think. You could easily see what you could craft or stuff like that without having to... Right, let's see, I want to do bandage. I need 2 fabric and 1 chemical. Okay, so that's chemical. That's... Oh, I only have 1 fabric. I can't do that. It's a bit annoying, but the more you play, the more you're gonna learn that. But for me, as a noob to the kind of survival thing, and that's not my main genre, it's just quickly more accessible, know what to craft. and then just pick what I want to craft. It's just more fun. That's just my little take. Yeah, what is going to stop me from playing this game is going to be this heavy, sneaky part of the game. That you're going to sneak like a mother beeping, freakingly insane dude. And it's also going to be the fact that you have, you know, these save points are kind of, you know, a bit far away in a way, and there's no like quick save or anything like that, right? You can see there's like no quick save or anything, so it into. Oh, this is why I didn't. There we go. That's why I couldn't see that one. You have to scroll. You can't. If you push this one down, I couldn't see this. I had to scroll to get to that one. Okay. Right. So yeah. Doesn't work. I also don't understand why I can't use this one sometimes. Like, sometimes I'm just pressing this, it doesn't work. In this room, it's just, this doesn't work. It's very inconsistent. And I don't understand it, maybe I'm just stupid. Doesn't work. I just reloaded this. Doesn't work. I can't press this one. Don't know. Can't get this one to work. Nope. I do this. Now it works. What did that do? Don't know. Oh, it was that door. Oh, it's timed. Huh. Oh, there's 3 of them. Again, I don't like this mechanic that I have to like do this. And now it's not working anymore. It's weird. How this one works is weird. Now it's working. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this. I'm gonna try to get through this door and then I'm gonna be done with this playtest for me. I'm pretty much surrounded here, so... Right, so we can see that the door straight ahead opens up. And there we go, and that's the save point. Alright. Right, that opens to get back up. Why is this disappearing sometimes? I'm pressing the wrong button or something. This goes away as something to like... Oh, is it like the down, unequipped? Yeah, you can unequip. Why would you do that? Am I running faster unequipped? Doesn't feel like it. Alright, I don't know. Yeah, so I'm probably not going to be able to reach the end of the playtest here, but it was interesting to look at it. But this mechanic here is not my type of...
Get that chain off the door.
Is not my type of thing. Well, I guess we're not doing that. Oh, oops. What was it that I needed to do? Ammunition. Metal scrap. Okay, I need two metal scraps. I need more metal scrap. Because I only have one metal scrap. Yeah, that also is not my thing, how that is working. I already pointed that one out. But yeah, I'm probably not going to make it to the end of this playtest here. How long have I been going for? Let me do that. 1 hour, okay. That's a good chunk for me to test. And again, if a game doesn't grab me in 1 hour, you know, I think that's a good, you know, stopping point. So that does not mean that this game is bad or anything. I feel it's, for playtest here, it feels very solid, very promising. But very stealthy mechanic like this, and not my type of gameplay. How the crafting works, you know, I can get by the crafting in The Last of Us because everything else felt really kind of good and there was accessibility option to tweak and stuff. This just feels like it's again, if I could just have this this menu all the time, and like having like when I can craft something with the things I have up top being like a yellow tint or something, so I just know, okay, I can craft this, okay, and then I can be I need this, okay, craft it. Then I could get by the crafting, but the way it is right now, the crafting is quite in the way for me. Right, since I'm gonna stop here, we're not gonna read that. Just having a peek to see just if there is like the end of the demo playtest here, or if there's gonna be like another sneaky section, this crafting bench almost. We're just gonna try to speed run a little bit. Right. Oh, bolt cutters. Okay. And I see that in my oh, can't open inventory here. Right, we're just gonna speed run very little bit here just to see if we can get to the end here of the demo, or if it's gonna be like in a sect. All pipe bomb. So how do we... Oh, you can equip them in different slots. Okay. Oh, so I picked up a broken ball that I can... Oh, I can use like... I think it was like Half-Life Alyx and with Last of Us, another game. Maybe not in Half-Life Alyx. Last of Us, you can throw a bottle to distract people. Can I throw this one away? Yes. That's nice. That's nice. Okay. Then I can pick it up again if I want to do that. Then I can just... Oh, you have to ready, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Very nice artistic direction here. Alright, good that we just took a peek out here. Performance again here, I don't have a problem with it. I know that, again, that a lot of people don't like frame gen, but even without frame gen, it seems to be running pretty damn good here on the RTX 5070 at least. Nice little cinematic kind of vibe transition there. Alright, so it seems to be like another area here. So I'm probably gonna be stopping here. We're not gonna go through another sneaky section here. Right, metal scrap. So now, again, I know how to do this. I know I can do that. Then I can do that. But again, it would be nice if it was just highlighted. I quickly could know what to do and what not to do. I do like that this game is working really well with mixed with mixed input. Alright, so that's an enemy in that place. Or like the final part. I would think it would be nice if you could get through that. It would be nice if I could have it would be nice if we could force mouse and keyboard or gamepad input. Other than that, the kind of the mixed input support here is really awesome. I guess these are just for enemies to sneak by in. But yeah, we are about to stop here. I just was thinking if I could just maybe quickly have a peek, if I could just maybe get out of this little playtest demo or something. But it seems to be going on for a nice little longer, which is great. It's good that it keeps going on. Obviously, that you have a very good amount of playtime here to be able to see if you like this sneaky type of gameplays, how the crafting and stuff like that works for you. So, you know, great thing. Right, so every time you go through like a door and thing like that, it automatically puts your weapon away. It would be nice if it just went back to the last used. Like weapon or tool that you had. Oh, it's leaking in from the... Okay, alright. This looks like another, like, area you need to be sneaky in. This looks like a place where you can hide and take cover in if the like the big enemy or something spots you. But if what you see here, if that looks interesting, you check this out, Industria 2. Maybe you have a peek at the first game also. Hopefully there will be more like play tests or more more like demos or stuff like that to come. But they seem to have a pretty damn good solid ground to start off with at least. Right, this is another hiding place. So there's probably gonna be some kind of monster boss thing here. I'm gonna trigger it and then we're gonna just stop. And that you like have to maybe sneak by or hide by or something like that. So let's just trigger that one. Let's trigger it. I'm guessing there's gonna be like a big dude in that one. No? Oh, wait. This is where I came from, right? Okay. Oh well, I think this is probably gonna be a good place to stop here. Because I'm not sure where I'm supposed to be going right now, so the perfect place to stop here. Because this definitely seems like a big room that is just gonna be some way or another you're gonna trigger like a big baddie to come out. But yeah, I really wish that this one didn't get unequipped every time I like interact with like this kind of big door thing. Oh, that was an enemy. Let's check this big enemy out and see what's gonna happen here. Oh. Loading, reload. And you can double reload. It just reloaded and now we can reload again. Ooh. Right, so I'm guessing there's enemies above or down below me right now. Yeah. But hey, I think this is perfectly nice, good stopping point here. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing here. Maybe shoot something. Maybe go around, discover something. Maybe I'm supposed to just go back. But I don't see anything real obvious in my inventory here, so... yeah. Not sure which way the game wants me to go now here, and not obvious. So let's stop here. Let's go to... Right, you have a manual save here. Okay, that's nice. And there we go. Okay, no quick save, but you do have a manual saving. That's gonna be very useful. Probably for you to use. I'm guessing you might not be able to use them in some situation where you might really wanna use them though, like where there is enemy close by. If I quit game, is that going to close? No, okay. That's good. Alright, so we have Industria 2 here. I've seen some people mention here that they felt that, you know, a little bit of like the kind of sneaky part is different from the first game. And that is, you know, true. And some people obviously are going to wanna enjoy this more. That you have more of a sneaky game. And some people like me that, you know, oh, there is a little bit of a sneaky going on in the first game. But you get more and more into the action are going to be, well, okay, I'm gonna pull away from this game a little bit more. And personal preference, what can you say? It's just you like it, you don't like that gameplay or game decision, but that's just what it is. That's personal preference. I feel that this seems graphically very polished, very nice. I have no problem with stuttering, weird stuttering performance. Again, I don't have a problem with frame gen. So I'm using 2 times frame gen. I get solid 120 frames. My GPU has some headroom. I could turn it off and get maybe, you know, 120, you know, from 90 to 120 something without it. And also DLSS here is in balanced mode. So if I wasn't using any frame generation or any like DLSS, I might be able to hit 60 stable frames on like the highest-ish settings, and it's okay. I don't know. Hey, that's what it is, and but I, you know, with bit of, you know, DLSS, great performance for me here, so I have no problem with that decision here for this game so far. And with frame gen, just a super smooth, good feeling 120 frames here in 1440p window mode. So, you know, performance for modern games and for what it looks, it's to me fine, but that's going to be maybe personal preference a little bit, what you think how games should run, what your hardware are and everything. So I'm just pointing out from my standpoint here, this is, you know, how that comes across. Audio seems okay, you know, good vibes with how it is. I think some of the, like the door opening noises just is peaking very high here. They are like boom. Maybe that is to kind of give you a heads up that, hey, you really need to like master opening doors quiet. I don't know. And again, this decision to have the game pause the audio when you tab out, I think that is unnecessary. If anything, pause the entire game, because this one here is just maxing my GPU out. So here you can see, without frame gen here, with everything maxed up, I get 86 FPS here with DLSS in balance mode. So if I were to take DLSS to, you know, off, I might only get, you know, 70-ish something FPS. But this also, again, this could have just been a nice still image, low GPU performance. So, you know, every time you tab out, your GPU is just idling here if you're in the menu. But let's finish off with how the gameplay just felt here. So obviously it's a shame that they don't have the crafting and some of the stuff working with gamepad yet. If you have like the 8-bit Ultimate Q wireless or equivalent with like motion controls in, like a Steam controller or the Gamesir T4 Kaleid, you can use the gyro or gyro to mouse, and then you can set the left and right triggers to be left and right mouse button, and you can play this game perfectly fine with the gamepad and good aiming. I don't have any aim assist or anything like that on. It feels great. It works amazingly. I love it. Love that we have full keyboard and mouse and gamepad support together. The only thing that could be better with that is let us pick if we want mouse and keyboard or if we want gamepad like Xbox or PlayStation or Switch icons to be displayed within the game. But that's amazing. It's just really great to see a good game that has support for mixed input. And also let us remap, don't have fixed inputs like you have some. I think it was like Q&E was locked in the game to certain actions. Let us rebind more. But then you have the gameplay mechanics, right? The shooting here, I guess again it's building on like the immersive survival horror thing, right? Clearly it's tagged in the Steam page decision, right? So you have one button press to go into normal kind of aiming, and then you have another button press go to like aim down sight. I think that is not gonna click with everyone. And for keyboard players, they might want a key binding too. I don't think that's available here that I could see. Just immediately go into the kind of aim down sight mode. I think you probably could have just disabled. You could have just skipped the normal aiming mode and just when you have the pistol up, when you press to shoot, just go straight into aim down sight instead. I don't know, I think that would have been perfectly fine. It might make more sense later on, but I think that would have been just a good option. Like if you have a pistol, you go into aim down sight. If you have like a machine gun, you only have like kind of like more of a hip fire thing. And if you have a sniper rifle, you go into a scoped mode. I think that's personal preference, but that's what I think. And you know, the sneaking part, everything works good here, especially since I have, again, this is great with the joystick. I can really sneak slowly and sweep around corner. So it has just that part works. I could think it probably works better than it does on a mouse and keyboard, because you have more fine control over how you sneak and move around. So gameplay has been really solid. And again, this might be personal preference, but I think that it's kind of like the enemy detector, that you have to like shoot out. You have like 3 these kind of waves that like stays up for like 5 seconds and tells you where the enemies are. Not a fan of that. I really am not. It should just be like in Alien Isolation, I think it is, right, where you bring that one up and it points and it kind of like blips out and it kind of shows them. It would have been better if it was like a constant like blip, and then it is like maybe 2-second delay, then a blip, and you can kind of like see sharp points of where the enemy are, and it kind of fades a little bit, and then it comes back when the next wave hit. And without having to like reload it, which is really weird, and just having to press it. It also bugged out many times because I have it out, but I have to press in my case, you know, the left trigger, or if you use a mouse, you have to press the right mouse button just, and then you have to like shoot it, fire it off. It did not feel good to me, that mechanic. I really did not like that. And but you know, the shooting felt, you know, stable, good. And there was an option, wasn't it? I would like, maybe, I'm not sure, throwing arc. So when I don't see any, but when I was throwing, I don't see any. Let me do this. When I was throwing the dynamite, I would have been nice to have like as an accessibility option, something like a throwing arc, so I know where my dynamite is going to go and stuff like that. Maybe that is available later on or in other things or whatever, but that I missed that. I love that in The Last of Us. When I was sneaking around, I throw something and I have this throwing arc. I think that's most to say here, right? That like stands out to me, like the bad with how the kind of enemy tracker works. That I think that the aim down sight and then you have another aim down sight mode isn't necessary. It would have been nice to have an option also like to automatically sprint when I fully press the left stick for me, but that's a minor thing. And yeah, obviously it needs to be tweaked for people that don't want to use motion controls for the crafting and stuff to work later on, but I'm sure that's coming to, you know, the full demo or full game. But yeah, the biggest thing here with the sneaking part is that I really felt that the tracker is janky, bugged out. And then again, sometimes when I open doors, I don't like it that it puts your gun away. I don't even know why can we put our gun away. How is that gonna come into play? I don't really see the usefulness, because I felt like I was sprinting the same speed with or without like a tool or gun equipped. Maybe I'm wrong with that. That if you like put your gun away, you're gonna sprint faster. But if I'm activating something like a door or a handle or something with a gun equipped, I want the gun to be equipped when I'm, you know, and it's done with that motion. It should be better that if I unequip before interacting with the door, you know, then I can just be unequipped. Maybe that is just a personal preference also, or something, I don't know. But that's not my point for this game. And unfortunately, I think the playtest is over when this will come out, this video. Yeah, it's gonna be. So hopefully you can check this one out yourself in the future when it's, you know, more playtests might be coming, or demos, or, you know, with the full game or anything like that. But it feels very solid, but it's too sneaky for me. And some of the decision with, like, yeah, we have to mention that, right? Opening the doors is great in VR. You take out the user handle and open it. Using that motion with the mouse and keyboard, or with motion controls, no, that does not, in my opinion, feel good. It's better to just press this button and it opens the door. Maybe it will be more physics and things building up on that later on, but it just, in this playtest, it did not really feel good, that part. But yeah, I think I've gotten all my points across here that I want, that like popped up as I was playing here. So again, Industria 2, maybe check it out if you want to do that. Feel free to follow or check back to my channel if you don't want to miss me trying demos and games and stuff like that. And feel free to leave a like and a comment if you want to do that. Nothing else, I hope you have a good day, and bye for this time.